If you remember in class, we sat in Notepad and we wrote down all of the commands that we needed to put into the routers, all individually, and then we copy and pasted them into the router, and it worked. So you can save yourself some time doing it that way if you want, or do it the hard way, old-fashioned way, like I like to do it. So the one thing I included in here is the OSPF commands. I don't know if he's going to ask us to do OSPF or eirgp, or if he's not going to care. I'd imagine he's not going to care. He's just going to want a functional network. So if you come down here, this is an untouched network, same topology. And if I come here to server 2, server 1, you can see I've got that already configured. If I go and ping, we're going to ping this computer over here, .33. You'll see that it's all connected. So ping 192.168.3.33. And we should have a connection. There we go. So everything's all good to go. I just have that set up already. So we'll go over that one and do some examples with that one. So as you can see here, we did some things in class, and those were based off of his 3 test questions he gave us, which were write access list to deny PC0 to ping PC2, write access list to deny LAN 1 to FTP to LAN 2, and then permit LAN 2 to HTTP server S. Okay, so standard and extended. Standard is going to be a broad stroke. We're not going to want to use that as much because it's kind of like the end all be all. If you put standard and deny something, trust me, I've tried it, I'm sure you have too, it blocks everything. So realistically, we're not going to want to use standard unless we absolutely have to. We're going to stick with being specific and using extended to be specific. Okay, so write an access list to deny PC0 to ping PC2. Okay, use extended, apply closest to the source. So ping is going to be ICMP. So the ones we have to be worried about right now are these right here. I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see those. Okay. So UDP is going to be our FTP command, TCP will be HTTP and HTTPS, and ICMP will be our pinging, so using the command prompt to ping. Stop PC0 from being able to ping PC2. We're going to do show access, type ACC, hit tab, hit enter. Okay, so we have denying ICMP 1.20 host is 630.20. So this is .20. I made this a static IP address. So this is .20. So this computer should not be allowed to ping PC2. All right, so this is technically PC0. So I just wanted to show you guys that. So we're going to go ahead and do ping 192.168.3.20. And you're going to get destination host unreachable. So that's the error message you should get when you're blocking connection with access lists. Okay, so what command did we use to get that effect? So we're going to go make a list, yeah, and then we're going to deny ICMP, and then we go from there, right? So we did access list 101, and then we're going to put deny because we wanted to deny or permit. Then ICMP, which is our ping command, and then we have 2 options. So we can write the IP address and then the subnet mask, the wildcard bits, or, which is easier when it's just an IP address that you're blocking, you put the word host and then the IP address. Saves you some time, right? So what would that look like? We're going to go into it right now. We're going to do config T. Yep. Then we're going to do access list, and we'll do 102 Dalmatian. Oh, let's do 111. Access 111, and then it'd be deny. So one thing to remember, use your question mark. If I hit question mark right here, I got a whole bunch of commands, right? But what's right there at the top? Access list. So access, press ACC, then hit tab. Now what do I type after access list? I have to pick a number between 1 through 99 and 100 to 199. Okay, we're not using standard. Why? Because we're not doing broad stroke. We're doing a very small, intricate one command. And our one command is going to be what? ICMP. So I know I need to pick a number between 100 and 199. So we did 111. Okay, then question mark. Well, then I only had three options at this point: deny, permit, and remark. Remark is like leaving a comment if you wanted to leave yourself a note of what you were doing. So we're going to write deny, question mark, and you can see I've got options. I can do all these things. The only three we're going to care about for this test are ICMP, TCP, and UDP. Okay, so ICMP is what we want because that's our ping. ICMP, question mark. I can do a.b.d.c, so I can put an IP address, I can say any, or I can say host. I'm going to write host so that I don't have to write a subnet mask. And then we would do 192.168.1.20, which is the IP address of what? Like most things in this, you start where you're at and you then go where you want to go. Great example, IP routes, right? IP route, you show where you're at and then how you get where you're going, which is your next hop address. So same thing here. The first address we put in, whether it's a network ID or host, is going to be where you're at. So what are we trying to be? We're trying to block computer.20. We're trying to block PC0. So that's what I put in first. I put in PC0, and then I put in where I'm going. If I was blocking a whole network, then I would put the network ID and the wildcard bits. I'm not. I'm doing a host. So I'm going to write the word host again. And then what am I trying to prevent PC0 from connecting to PC2, which is .20 on the .3 network. So I would type in 192.168.3.20. After we've made that list is we're going to apply it. We're going to apply it to the interface. I keep using this analogy of, think of a bouncer outside of a club, right? The bouncer's got his clipboard and he's got names on that clipboard. How do you get the names on the clipboard? Somebody gave him a list with names on the clipboard, right? That's what you're doing first. You're creating the bouncer's list. Who to let in, who not to let in. What to let in, what not to let in, right? So the first thing we did was make the list. Now we're going to go and put the bouncer at the front door. We need to put the bouncer at the door. We need him to block. So it doesn't do me any good if I put the bouncer at the kitchen door or the service access door. I need to put him at the front door, the door that I'm trying to block the traffic from coming through in. So in the case of this example, we're trying to stop this computer from getting all the way over here. So we would actually come right here to router 1 and put our bouncer right there at the front door to router 1. And load this document as well as the other stuff so you can have all the code in here. But it's the same concept. You're going to have an interface, you're going to tell it that access group, and you're going to give it an in or an out. So if my bouncer is sitting right here, you can see that's a bouncer. That's my bouncer right there. If he's sitting right here on router 1, where's the packets coming from? It's coming from PC 1.20, right? Those packets are coming in to the router, and the router's going to say, ho, 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 you can't do that, right? So it's not going out of router 1, it's coming into router 1. So you're done. So our next step is going to be writing an access list to deny LAN 1 FTP to LAN 2. So we'll come right here, LAN 1 denying LAN 2 FTP. Okay. So we're going to put it right here on router 2. I think at the end of the day, as long as you put it in the correct spot where there's no other way for it to get in or get out, whatever information you're trying to stop, you should be fine. In this example, he put it on the inside on gig 0. So again, we had to make our list to give to the bouncer. This time we did access list with a name. It's deny, right? And then we have TCP. That's our command. Why? Because we said FTP was what we were trying to stop. And if we come back up to, or go down to my list, FTP is what? UDP, right? Now, we put TCP there. Hell if I know, man. Do we change? Is this a different command? No, that's it. Port number for FTP. Let's see what happens. IP access list extended. No FTP2. Okay. Deny UDP and 192.168.2.0 0.0.0. This is a whole network. Notice how we did a whole network there? Because it's a whole network ID, we're going to put the wildcard bits after it. And if you notice, the first thing they put was any. So you can exchange any for any of the, any can be either representing a host or a network ID. So we're trying to block all traffic going to 2.0. Okay, cool. That's all of LAN 2, right? So we got the network ID in there, and then the last bit of the puzzle is this EQ command. So if we just put deny UDP any and then that, right? It would block all UDP commands. We don't want that. We want just our FTP, which would be 20 and 21. Okay? Is FTP. So if I'm wrong, then you put TCP there. If I'm right, you put UDP. Either way, the format of the command is the same. Now, that said, if we're being honest, if he said denying LAN 1, FTP to LAN 2, then this command shouldn't be any. This should be the subnet mask of, this should be the IP address and subnet mask of LAN 1, which is 1.0. And then 0.0.0.255, right? That's what it should be. This is, again, going off what we had in class, and neither here nor there. My bouncer is going to be standing at the door of gig 0, right? And someone's going to show up and say, hey, I want an FTP server. He's going to check his list and say no. So the traffic at gig 0 is going to be going out to LAN 2. So that's why we go ahead and log in to gig 0/0, and we say IP access group, and then right here, the exact words that we called the list is exactly what you type in. It is case sensitive. You make sure that you write the exact thing down. IP access group, now FTP out. And it's going out because it would be going out into LAN 2 versus, okay. And then he had a bonus round in class, which was going over the no web. So this was TCP. TCP is going to be, right, our www and our HTTP, HTTPS. Now, when you get in there, you can see that you can type in www if you want, or you can do the port numbers, but you cannot type HTTP. And we'll go over that command as well. Put permit any. We'll go over all that. Again, went to the interface that where the bouncer, the door that you want the bouncer to be at, right? So if we know we're at 3.20, right? We want to put that bouncer right there. Put that bouncer right there and have him stop all that traffic, because it's going to be coming in to that port, right? One of the computers, 3.20, is going to be trying to get out to 1.10. So it's going to be coming into that port and then leaving. So the bouncer's at the door, says no, you can't come in. To test it out with this build that I made, which is, again, an exact copy. If you recall, we go over, quickly go over the commands for the router setup. Okay, so literally all we do, rename it, right? Give your IP, your interfaces IP addresses. So int gig 0, S0, give them the IP addresses, right? Then for eirgp, it's even simpler than OSPF. All you do is router eirgp, give it a number. We use 10, we're going to keep using 10, right? And then you type in the network ID of the networks that it's connected to. And that's it. These in gray are the OSPF commands, so don't worry about those. To further verify and prove, we already did this, right? We're going to go ping 192.168.1.2. Sure enough, I can see it. So again, this is all set up with eirgp. So I changed it from stopping everything. Basically, we're going to stop PC8 from accessing PC6 or LAN 1's PC. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to make an access list, and then we're going to put our bouncer at the door. We're going to put our bouncer at gig 0/1 right here on router 1. Right? We're going to put our bouncer there, and we're going to not let anything go through. Okay, so we are going to go question mark. Look at what we got options. Look, I got access list right there. Okay, so access list. Because I'm not giving it a name, we're using a number. Right now I pick question mark, and I have two options, standard or extended. We're going to use standard for this example, but most likely most of our examples will be extended because we'll be specific with what we're trying to block, not just blocking everything, right? So access list 69, nice, and question mark. We're going to deny. We have three options: deny, permit, remark. Remark is going to be if you're leaving a comment, like if you wanted to, leave yourself a note or someone else a note. So we're going to do deny, and then we have three options again. I can put an IP address, I can put any, or I can put host. Okay, we're going to deny PC8, excuse me. PC8's IP address is 192.168.3.33 right here. Okay, so we're going to do 192.168.3.33. Now, if I hit question mark, it's going to ask me for wildcard bits. Why? Because I didn't give it both things it's looking for. Because it's a singular IP address, it's a singular host, we're going to type host in front of the IP address. That way we don't worry about the subnet mask or the wildcard bits. Okay? I hit enter. If I put a deny, I need to put a permit. So we're going to do access list 69, and we're going to put question mark, permit, question mark. We're just going to put any. And now if I put question mark again, you remember we had any. In this case with standard, you just need one any. Hit enter. Okay? That's our list. Our list is done. We're going to do a read write. Okay? Just to make sure I've got that list, I'm going to hit exit, show ACC, tab, enter. Now you can see there's my access list 69. Nice. We've got deny and we've got permit. So we're going to go back in, config T. Now we got to set up our bouncer at the door. Again, we're going to be setting up our bouncer at router 1 right here, gig 01. That's where we want to stop that traffic from getting to that PC6. So we're going to do interface gig 0/1, and then we're going to type what? Well, we can type ACC and hit tab. Nothing happens. Why? Because we got to do IP first. IP ACC tab. Now it's access group, not access list. What's our number? 69. Nice. Question mark. In or out? So at the doorway of the club where the bouncer's sitting at zig 0/1, we're going to be stopping packets from going out to PC6, right? Not in, but out. That bouncer's going to be standing there. They're going to be trying to come out the door, and you'll be like, nah, can't come out. So we're going to type out. Enter. Exit. Exit. Read write. So now, let's go to PC6. Yeah? And let's try and ping my gateway. Sure enough, I can ping my gateway. Can I ping my server? Yes, I sure can. Let's see if I can ping LAN 3, which is over here in this corner. So that would be ping 3.2. That would be the server all the way over there in LAN 3. Sure enough, I can ping that. Now, let's try and ping 33. It's not going to let us. Why? Because we blocked it. With standard, we've blocked every sort of transmission between these computers. So it's done. No communication. And we'll do the same thing on PC 8. We're going to try and get to 1.11, which is PC 6. Destination host unreachable. So that's the error message we're getting from the router saying, hey, you can't come in, right? And if you even notice, it says 10.10.10.1. That's the IP address of this router right here. And it's saying, hey, no, you can't come in. But more than likely, you can't go out. You can't go out and see the PC. All right, we're going to be doing deny PC7 from pinging the LAN 3 server. So we don't want to let this computer right here ping this server right here. So we're going to use extended again, and we're going to set up our bouncer right here on gig 0/2. That way the ping request doesn't get any further than router 2. There's no need for it to travel all the way down the loop. All right. So we're going to jump in here. We're going to enable config T. And then we're going to create our list, right? We got to give a list to give to the bouncer. So we're going to do IP question mark. We scroll up, and of course there's access list. And then we're going to do extended. Remember, use tab, use question mark. It is your friend. It is your friend. It will not guide you astray like I will. Extended, and we're going to call it deny PC7. Okay? Hit enter. So now my list has been created. I need to fill it out. So the first thing I'm going to do is deny question mark. Now, ping is the ICMP protocol, right? So ICMP, it's the only one. We're worried about three: ICMP, TCP, and UDP. Deny ICP. We have a specific host that we are trying to block from another specific host. So we're going to type in host. We are trying to block, we're starting at 22, PC7, going to LAN 3 server. So 192.168.2.22. And then we're blocking a specific host. So we're going to write host and then LAN 3 server 192.168.3.2. Now, if you remember on TCP and ICP, we saw that we put an EQ at the end. Now, I didn't mean to hit enter there, so I'm going to hit no because I want to deny that. I want it to be specific. The thing with extended, we're trying to be specific. So instead of typing EQ, if I hit that, you'll see that the error is out. So I can't use EQ. Well, what can I use? I hit question mark. We're going to use echo. Now, as you see here, we have options. We can, I guess, basically tell it whatever message we want. We're just going to type echo. All right? So instead of EQ, we type echo. So again, no matter what, we're going to put an E something at the end of our line here for our deny. But in this case, we're going to use echo. Once we do that, we got to put our failsafe, which is permit IP any. And then we're going to exit. And now that list is complete. Now we got to get our bouncer, and we're going to bring him with the list and place him right here in front of gig 0/2 and have him block that ping message from ever leaving. So interface gig 0/2, and we're going to go IP space ACC tab. So now it's access group instead of access list. If you hit question mark, it wants the name, so we're going to call it deny PC7, and then question mark again, and in or out. So if I'm the bodyguard standing at router 2 at interface 0/2, packets are going to be coming in to me, so we're going to put in. Enter, exit, read write. So now if I come to 22 right here, I should not be able to ping 3.2. There you go. Destination host unreachable. Now, can the server still ping PC7? Should be able to. Let's find out. Okay. Sure enough, the server on LAN 3 can still ping PC7, but PC7 cannot ping 3.2. Now, can the server on LAN 2 still ping the server on LAN 3? Should be able to. Let's check it out. Ping 3.2. Sure enough, there it goes. So I have not stopped the functionality of pinging in LAN 3 or LAN 2 to LAN 3, but I have stopped PC7 from being able to ping server 6, which is the server on LAN 3. All right, that's it. All right, figured out what I was doing wrong. Mr. Charif is correct. I'm always wrong. So we'll go from there. All right, we're going to do denying PC8 from the HTTP and HTTPS of LAN 2. Okay, so we can put it right here on router 3 and stop those messages there, or we can put it right here. We're going to go ahead and put it right here on router 2. So we're going to go ahead and enable config T. Now, we need to make our list, right? Check it twice. So we're going to do what? IP, because we're going to name it again like we did deny PC7. So IP ACC tab, which gives us access list, question mark, extended tab. And we're going to call it deny PC8. So what we're going to do now is we're going to deny. What are we going to deny? We're going to deny TCP. Why? Because if we look at our list, HTTP and HTTPS are TCP protocols, right? So deny TCP question mark. Now I can put my address. Now it is one singular computer that we are stopping, right? So we're going to type host this time, 192.168.3.33. That is the IP address of PC 8. Okay, and then we want to block it from being able to do that with any of LAN 2. So instead of doing host, we're actually just going to type in the network ID, 192.168.2.0, and then if you hit question mark, it's going to say wildcard bits. So we're going to do 0.0.0.255 because it's /24 in that network, and that's the wildcard bit for that. Now we want to be specific, right? Because we're using extended. Extended and specific should be synonymous with each other, right? So if we hit question mark, you're going to see we have the option to use EQ. So we're going to type EQ and then question mark again. So HTTP is also www, also 80. So we can put www or 80, not HTTP. If we put HTTP, watch what happens. It gives us an invalid. Okay, so we're going to do www, enter. Then 443 is HTTPS. It's not in that list, but we're going to throw it in there anyway because we know what the port number is, 443. Hit enter. Now this is where I was screwing up before and I had to make a big cut and figure out what was going wrong. I was typing in permit TCP any. And when I did that, it would not let me ping, even though it should have been because I'm not blocking the pinging. What we need to type in right here is permit IP any. And if you go back and look at Mr. Charif's example, it has permit IP any. So hit enter, hit exit, read write. Now if we show ACK, guess what? There's our list. So now we got our list, we got to put our bouncer. We're going to bring our bouncer and we're going to drop him off right here at gig 0/2, and we're going to stop those packets from going out from him and allow anything else to go through. So we're going to config T back in and we're going to interface gig 0/2. Once we're in here, we're going to type in IP ACC, IP ACK, hit tab. Now we have access group. Now what are we going to do? We're going to use the word to describe it, which is deny PC8. And then question mark, of course, in or out. So packets are going to be going out from this port because they're going to be coming from LAN 3 PC8 trying to get over, right? So we'll put out, hit enter, exit, read write. Now, if I come over here, let's say to this server, I should still be able to ping 2.2, which is the server. I should still be able to ping 22, which is the other computer. Sure enough, I can. And we'll come right here to PC 8, which is .33. And we're going to try and see if we can ping that bad boy. So I still should be able to ping in the LAN 2 network, which I can. When I was having issues earlier, it wasn't doing it, and that's because I put TCP any instead of IP any. Okay, so I can ping server and I can ping the computer, so I can still see network 2. I can still ping it, which is what I want. I want to be able to ping it. I just don't want to be able to HTTP it. Okay, so that is deny PC8. Now we're going to do a permit. We're going to allow LAN 3 server, so that's this server right here, to FTP to LAN 1 server, but we're going to deny LAN 3 server from being able to FTP to LAN 2 server. So we're going to do a permit and a deny. So since we know both of these are going to come from LAN 3, we're going to go ahead, come here to router 3, and we're going to stop it right there. We're going to put our bad boy, our big old bodyguard, our big old bouncer right there at gig 0/0, and we're not even going to let those messages go through the router. We're going to stop them right there. Okay, so we're going to come into router 3. As you can see, I need to click, okay, enable, config T, and we're going to name this one as well. So we're going to do this as IP ACK tab, then a success list. Then we're going to do extended. It's our two options. Extended again because we want to be specific with what we are blocking. So extended, and then we will do question mark, and it's going to say give us numbers or give us a name. We're going to call it deny LAN 3 or deny L3 server. Deny L3 server. Actually, let's just write it all out. Deny LAN 3 server. Okay. Now we've identified we want to make a list. Now we got to fill that list out, right? So we're going to fill that list out with, what do we want to do first? We're going to deny. We'll do our deny first. So we're going to deny Now, we said FTP, right? If we come look at our little cheat sheet here, FTP is actually a UDP protocol, right? So we do what? We come here to deny, and what if we hit question mark? We've got all those options. Again, the only three we're worried about is ICMP, TCP, and UDP. So we're going to type UDP question mark, and we're back to the same thing. What am I trying to deny? Am I denying a network? Am I denying a specific host or anybody, right? Well, we're going to be denying the specific host, which is LAN 3 server. LAN 3 server is 192.168.3.2. And we want to deny him from going to, so where we're at, where we're going to, where are we going to? LAN 2 server. LAN 2 server is another host, because it's a singular item, 192.168.2.2. Now, if I hit a space and hit question mark, you can see here I got a what? I have to be specific, right? I have to use EQ, because again, we have ports that we're dealing with, versus with ICMP, we didn't have any ports. So we've got 20 and 21. We're going to go ahead and block them both. Enter, hit up, and enter. So now we've blocked both those ports. Okay? Now, that's part of our deny. We're going to do two other things. We're going to do what? We're going to permit LAN 3's server to get to LAN 1 server. So instead of deny, we're going to type permit, and we're going to type UDP again, and then it's going to be specific again. So we'll do host 192.168.3.2. That's LAN 3 server. And then we will do, once again, host, but this time 192.168.1.2. And we're going to do EQ once again, 20, enter, up, change it to 21. And we're going to go ahead and put permit UDP any exit read write. So now if we do show ACK, there you go, we got all our stuff there. Deny LAN 3 server. Okay, so now where are we putting our bouncer at? We're putting our bouncer at gig 0/0. We want to stop that thing as it's coming in. So config T interface gig 0/0, and we're going to say IP ACK tab, and we're going to say what? Question mark. Well, we're going to come up with the name of it. Deny LAN 3 server is the name of it. And in or out. Well, the packets are going to be coming at that router interface from the LAN 3 server. So we're going to put in exit read write. But now we still should be able to ping everything. There should be no changes in our pinging. And we'll check right now. That's the wrong thing to ping, but it's okay. Let's come to this server. This is when we did all the dirty work on, right? He still should be able to ping the gateway. No, he can't. Decision host unreachable. And ping the server. Yes. Okay. So let's go. Let's try my fix that I found last time, which was what? It was config T. We're going to go to IP ACK extended, and we're going to say deny LAN 3 server, and then we're going to no permit UDP any. So that's going to remove that command, and then we're going to put permit IP any. Enter. Exit read write. And then we'll show ACK tab, and now you can see I have just permit IP any. So now we should be able to ping again. There we go. So you cannot put permit UDP any, and you cannot put permit TCP any. You have to put permit IP any to make it work and keep being able to ping. So all right, I found a little snippet here. I'm gonna go over it really quickly. Testing how to stop PC8 from accessing the LAN 1 PC6. We did access list 69, nice, deny host blank. So we used the standard access list for this one, then access list 69 permit any, and then we went into interface gig 0/1, which was right here, and put IP access group 69 out. Nice. Okay, number 2, we denied PC7 from pinging LAN 3 server. So we went on to router 2, IP access list extended deny PC7 is what we named the access list, and we used extended from here on out. Deny ICMP host, this is the address of the PC we're trying to stop, and then this is the address of LAN3 server, and then we put the echo command at the end. Then we put permit IP any, and then we went to interface gig 0/2 right here on router 2 and put IP access group deny PC7 in. Then for step 3, we wanted to deny PC8 from HTTP and HTTPS of LAN 2. So we went to router 2 again, and we typed in IP access list extended deny PC8 is what we named the list. Then we did deny TCP host, and we put the word host, which represents a singular host, and then we put this to represent the entire network, right? And then instead of echo at the end, we put EQ and www or port 80 for HTTP. Repeated the command, and the only thing we changed was 443, which is the port number for HTTPS. Also, we must put permit IP any. Then we went to int gig 0/2, same location as last time, right here, and this time we put IP access group deny PC8 out. And then our final test that we did was to permit LAN3 server FTP to the LAN 1 server, but deny LAN3 server FTP to the LAN 2 server. So we did IP access list extended deny LAN 3 server. That is the list that we created. We put deny UDP host 192.163.2. So basically this is the IP of LAN 3 server. We denied on port 20 and port 21 going to this host, which is the LAN 2 server 2.2. And then we permitted the same exact command, except it went to 1.2, which is LAN 1 server, again on port 20 and port 21. And then permit IP any, our failsafe at the end. And then we put int gig 0/0 because we put that right here on router 3, because we put our bodyguard bouncer right here at that. We didn't want to go any further than that, right? So we went there and put IP access group deny LAN 3 server in, because all of these commands are going to be coming from the LAN 3 server right here trying to get out, so it would be coming into that port. So that's it. I'm going to upload these all to the Discord and get this video edited and out. So good luck tomorrow.